future. Whitetip has no time to go hunting. Bluebrow is still new at being a leader, and his instincts for hunting have yet to be tested, as the pack is about to discover. A shuvia is pecking the bark of a dead tree in search of grubs. Bluebrow makes a tactical error. He hesitates and loses the element of surprise. Now their only hope is to run him to ground. An oviraptor's bone-crunching beak ends Bluebrow's hunt and the pack's chance for a meal. Humbled, Bluebrow is the first to leave. Not a good showing.
Mongolia, 80 million years ago. For predators, it was a very good year. You had velociraptors, 3 kinds of oviraptors, and little shibuya, just to name a few species. But the numbers just don't add up. The species of predators outnumber the species of prey. In a typical ecosystem, there are more prey than predators. But in prehistoric Mongolia, the ecosystem was a predator's paradise. Undoubtedly the most bizarre were the oviraptors. It's hard to tell the front of the skull from the back, especially since they had no teeth. Instead, there's a strong bird-like beak. Yet oviraptors had the trademark claws of a carnivore. So what did they eat? When the first oviraptor was discovered in 1923, it was lying on a clutch of eggs thought to belong to Protoceratops. Scientists dubbed the new species oviraptor, or egg thief. But the eggs recently were found to be oviraptor eggs. The alleged thief was actually a nurturing parent. Perhaps oviraptor hunted a smorgasbord of small animals. Or maybe, as its ancestors lost their teeth, it became a switch hitter, an omnivore, consuming both plants and meat, and perhaps eggs too. When it comes to dinosaur behavior, we usually have to rely on our best guess, and those ideas will change as we make new discoveries.
Deserts are unforgiving. Life clings to the slimmest of margins. When it comes to survival, it's catch as catch can, and anything is fair game. As dusk settles, Whitetip is in her nest, tending her eggs. She hasn't eaten for days. A small delta theridium gets her attention. Its movement is irresistible. It triggers the instinct to hunt, leaving her eggs vulnerable. Big mistake. The intruder is Broken Hand, just trying to stay alive. Whitetip's clutch is reduced to 3 eggs. The loss is a setback, but at least it's not a disaster for the mom-to-be. Weeks ago, Whitetip laid a foundation for the future. Last night, the eggs hatched. Now, both she and her infants need to be fed. Less than a day old, these young velociraptors are left to fend for themselves. She must hunt. Once again, the pack is at full strength and hungry for big game. These bones of the old Protoceratops are all that's left of the meal that saved Whitetip's life. But others may not be so lucky. Desperate with hunger, Broken Hand has recklessly attacked a herd of Prenocephaly. With no pack to reinforce him, the old soldier's defenseless. Without a backwards glance, the pack moves off, leaving Broken Hand to his fate. The oviraptor nesting ground, guarded by just 2 females. Now it's turnabout fair play. Surprise attack leaves a pair of hatchlings on open ground, totally unprotected. Quickly as the pack appeared, they vanish. The point is to get a meal, not become one. The meal Whitetip brings home looks just like her offspring. But here in the Gobi Desert, her own hatchlings could just as easily